Sit with me. What we got?
Well, could you classify that as a pretty gutty effort by Tilley because of...
Yeah, what did he end up in the first inning?
38.
Yeah. Pitched 6 innings. Sure would like to. There's so much, you can say, boy, there might have been a better outing there, but that's why you like Chris. We've got a lot of guys that have had some trouble so far. I hope we can solve that a little bit, or in the first inning with the pitch counts and everything, but they minimize the damage. But it shouldn't be forgotten. That game could have got away from us early. Thought we would have been able to score. In the bottom of the first, I thought there was a big inning there before we got ball 4 called a strike. Obviously, tough night it's a really frustrating night for me. Wally's not here, and we have to be careful with the ejections. But at some point, that was a challenge. That's a frustrating game to manage.
Matt does not argue very often. I think it's only the second ejection in his career, and it seemed like he was just walking away. Obviously,
it was about something he said that usually gets you ejected. I think our point, Batista had 2 obvious check swing strikes last night that weren't called. I think basically if you ask for help there and he bangs him at third base, but third base umpire, you can semi-live with it. Replays probably didn't go, there's so much inconsistency on that play, and rightfully so. It's hard. A lot of guys, there's certain types of check swings that don't get called, and it depends on who the umpire is. I wish there's some way that we could have a quick flash replay where you can yes or no and go somewhere else, because that's the one that consistently is inconsistent. And I think there was a lot of frustration built up over the game by the strike zone. So I think that was accumulation of that too.
With all that's going on, how big is it too to have the bullpen where you have Bundy, O'Day, and Britton come in and do what they did? Yeah,
I wasn't going to use Givens or Brock tonight, and I knew that Dylan, early on has shown the potential to be a piece for us down there. I'm real, regardless of what's going on as a team, just to step back and see him contributing to a major league win is pretty special for me, I know, to watch all the trials he's been through and false expectations that we all create just because a number next to somebody's name. So that's pretty good to watch. It's been fun to watch. First time I think I've done him back-to-back. I think we did one in the spring. But he only had like 11 pitches, I think, last night. And talked to him in the outfield day. He felt good. And, Darren had a big outing, as did Zach.
To follow up what you were saying about Dylan, he also recorded his first major league strikeout today. Were you aware of that? Because it's been...
That was his first one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ever?
Ever. I was going to ask you, because that was shocking to us.
Lord. Really?
Yeah.
Well, it won't be the last.
Well, could you talk a little bit about the commitment by Rickard on the play that scored the winning run?
Well, he has good anticipation. A lot of people go 90 feet on that instead of 180. And I think a lot of times the good base runners read the body language of the people converging on the ball, because you can usually tell when a guy's got a play on it. When they don't, it's always easy to take the safe route out and just trot to third, and nobody, second guess that. I tell the guys all the time in the spring, and here is you feel something, you see it, and you have a instinct about it. Trust it. And I'm not gonna. Where I'm gonna get a little upset is when you don't trust your instincts up here, because you're at this level for that reason. And Joey did.
There was a way to say that. Go ahead.
Pardon?
If it was August or September and you had won 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays, people would just say, oh, it's a big series. Because it's April, is it big to win 2 out of 3 against them, or is it just 2 out of 3?
No, it's just you never, obviously they're going to be competing for the division all year. That's a given. And anytime, it's the only time when you don't have to count on somebody else to beat them. They're very tough to beat. These were 3 tough-fought games, 1 run, all of them, and the margin of error was real small. Some people say we got fortunate with the hit, but we also, there's some things that we did to set that inning up too. We had a lot of people on base tonight and just couldn't get over the hump. Estrada, our guys grinded the heck out of him, because one of the keys as many pitches as Tilly had thrown, he was sitting there at 100, you know, about the same stage of the game. How many innings did he end up pitching? 5? Until he pitched 6. You can made a lot of money on that after the first inning. And who knows, if we'd gotten ball 4 called, might have been a different first inning for him too. What was your question?
The Rickard play, is that your way of saying he's a pretty good instinctive ball player?
So far.
I know it's only...
You know, there's a lot of things, you know, he's had to, you know, there's little things you find out about him. You know, there's some challenges that all young outfielders face when they first get to big leagues about the depth perception with the third deck. It's different. You know, I remember the first time I went out there with it, I thought every ball hit to me was going 700 feet, and you have a tendency to break back. And, you know, he and Wayne have been working real hard with it about trying to understand some of the, and reading the swings. And the ball gets on you a little faster up here. Guys are stronger. They backspin the ball more, and the first step is real important, but he's handled it well.
Matt Lynch said that Chris Tillman's a lot more comfortable this year with his slider against a team that's seen him so much, like the Blue Jays have. Is that important, kind of give them a different look?
Yeah, if you look at the matchups, I'm sure you do. There's not many people that haven't had a little success against him. And so a lot of guys would, after that first inning, go out there and go, give me that, here we go again. That wasn't Chris. Chris said, I'm going to find a way out to get my club to the 6th inning with a chance to win. He did. And that's probably the key to the game.
Davis had 4 walks today. He's got, I believe he's leading the American League now in walks. Obviously, you know, home runs, what everybody wants to see, but how nice is it for you to
No, that's that we've got, if we can keep, I was thinking in the dugout, if we could keep this baton passing, or if they're not, it would really bode well for us, and something that we really stress, you know, our guys stressed each other in the spring, and of course we did last year. We tried to, but I think when you add a bat here or there, you know, the challenge will be, you know, when you get in there and you're not swinging the bat real well, and you want to make it happen with one swing. But, you know, we had how many walks tonight and a hit by pitch?
6, right?
Quite a, I know we had.
At least 6.
Yeah, you can
At
add.
least 6.
You could probably add 1 or 2 more to that. Good. I need to leave before I say something I shouldn't.